you're 6 years in, almost.
Well, 6 years of a physical building.
Yeah, 6. I mean, yeah, 6 years on your own in your own building, paying your own bills, trying to figure out how to keep the lights on every day. What's the next? What do you have planned for the next year that you're willing to share with the world, other than the turf? Like, what are the plans for the next 12 months?
I'd say
Growth. That's about all I'm gonna say.
Just growth.
Yeah.
Just
Growth.
let's go back. Let's go back to like how we started with the signing of the lease of this place. So we're talking about how Dave Tate asked me like what my why was, and the thing that got me fired up was he said my why has to be in here, not in your head, not in your wallet. It's got to be from your heart. It can't be from money or selfish goals. It's got to be from your heart. If it's from your heart, you're gonna kick ass at it. And I took that to heart. So I drove back from Ohio.
And this was in like what, May or April of 2012,
Yeah.
I think?
I came back from Ohio with a fire lit under my ass, and I was like, all right, I gotta do this. And I was searching all around our neighborhood for a good spot to have our place. And me and one of my athletes, we saw this place. We were looking through the windows outside of the gym, and we both looked at it and said, all right, this is it, let's do it. And to make a long story short, signed the lease. Gina didn't even see the place when I signed the lease. Had no business experience.
No idea what he was doing
No idea.
at all.
Yeah.
No, I mean, neither did I, but the point was...
As far as business-wise, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was just...
well,
It was... The short explanation of how we opened this facility was ignorance on fire.
Yeah.
Ignorance on fire, 100%. 100%.
yes.
Because we literally jumped off the cliff and built the plane all the way down.
Yep.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys post, I'm sure it's on your Facebook page.
Yeah.
Is it Team HPF or is it High Performance Fitness?
Team HPF.
Team HPF.
Team HPF.
And you guys have a website that
Yep.
doesn't do a lot. We should talk about that. And then you guys have like there's photos like there was no drywall, there was studs everywhere. You were literally putting the bars on people's backs so they could squat.
Yeah.
I think the bench press was like one of those narrow ones. If you
It was-
had like a 5-pound difference, the
You
bar
could
was
buy it
going.
at Sports Authority.
It was wobbly. It was nasty.
It was borrowed, actually.
Yeah.
It wasn't even ours.
Yeah.
And then I think you were box squatting on coolers.
Yep.
Yep.
It
This
was
was all during the construction,
Yeah.
But we had to keep training. We had,
Yeah,
he had clients that he needed to keep training, and
you had to put money in your pockets to keep the lights on, and then what was it? It was September, August
It
of
was September.
October is when we officially opened.
no
but-
equipment.
Equipment in.
Oh, yeah, it was probably September.
September of that year.
2012.
Yeah.
I'm scrolling through Facebook and like, oh, Elite FTS, like, hey, best powerlifting gym in Chicago, and then I see HPF, High Performance
That's
Fitness,
near me.
that's in Illinois. I'm like, I don't have any place to train that would let me lift the way I like to lift. That's where I'm going. Facebook, I don't know, like Facebook was still kind of like, social media was still kind of a baby. Now it's like a drunken teenager.
Yeah.
That's another conversation.
Yeah.
So I just call you, text you like, hey man, I'm looking for a job. Like I was looking for a place to where I could start to train people. And
Yeah.
Never happened, but I show up and this is completely out of my personality. I'm very much like, keep to myself, don't like to meet strangers. Like, I'm the awkward guy in the corner at the party if I don't know anybody.
We pulled it out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pulled it out of them.
slowly I've warmed up.
Over the years, yeah.
And I show up and, there's a UPS truck. Matt Goodwin is here. Matt Ladusky was here. I think was Starkey.
Starkey was
Maybe
here.
Leia. I always put an extra L in his name.
Yeah. He's gonna hear that.
Yeah. And you, Gina. I don't think Gina.
I
You were
wasn't
still
here
in
the day-
school.
Yep, I wasn't here the day the equipment was delivered.
Yeah, you're still in school, and then
Yeah.
you were pulling it off the truck. The guy next door had a
Yes, we're
Luckily-
forklift.
Yeah, luckily we had a
Luckily.
forklift. UPS driver said that.
And it wasn't a UPS, it was a semi.
Semi
not-
Yeah.
UPS. It
not
was a
little
UPS semi.
Yeah.
Everything put together. We're pulling it off.
Yeah.
And
luckily, the guy across the way had a forklift to be able to.
right,
Take it off the truck.
it was just a fun day. Like, then I'm training here every day. Ups and downs. My gym mom is cooler than your gym mom. That's kind of, I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't seen your mom forever, but she's
killing it.
she's the gym mom.
Yeah, she's killing it. She's everybody's
Right.
gym mom.
Yes.
That's the thing.
She has a nickname for everybody.
Yes.
And that's the reason why we are how we are, is because, a lot of the reasons because of her.
Right.
She brings in everybody.
You guys go to Ohio for a seminar, I come in, and your dad's working the front desk, and we spend like an hour before a workout, we're talking about baseball and the White Sox.
Yeah.
Or the Cubs, or whoever, whatever, we're talking baseball for an hour, whatever team, whatever he wants to talk about.
Yeah.
And that's
him.
That's where you got it from.
Yeah.
They still come in here and embody that in here.
You know what's cool?
doing
You know
stuff.
what's cool? Like my dad, he is a high school sports fanatic. Like every one of my athletes, or every one of our athletes, he's at their game. He's cheering them on.
He goes by himself.
Yeah.
He just,
He has his.
we find out about it later, and we're like, oh,
He's got a little cooler.
Yeah.
And he has his drinks in. He's got his
Snacks.
homemade guacamole.
Yep.
He's got his plate ready. He's got his little soft chair, and he just
Well,
loves
it doesn't
it.
matter. Maybe he needs to have a vlog.
He
Yeah,
does.
he seriously
He
does.
does. No, he needs to have
Oh yeah,
one.
like he needs to we just need to get him a video. Just use his cell phone and just record your
Yeah.
athletes, and then he can have his own thing going
Yeah.
Yep,
as a branch of.
Yeah, he needs to.
he needs to.
I knew we went out there, but I didn't realize it was like every day.
Mhm.
Whoever's playing, hey, I'm gonna go this week. I'm going to Richie's. Next week I'm going to
that's that
Cree.
retired life,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and his little best friend, his little dog, and they're just, he's LIVIN.
And since we're talking about him, I hear it in my voice all the time when I'm training my athletes. I hear his voice when I'm talking to my athletes. The reason why my sister and I were really good at what we did athletically, and basically in like a lot of things, is because he instilled confidence in us. And that's one thing that we want to always make sure that our people that we're working with, if we can have them build confidence in themselves, then they could achieve anything.
Right.
We always make sure that we care for the whole athlete. That's the same thing my dad would always say, like, if you're not confident, or he would expect us to have confidence just by teaching us the things that we had to do to be competent. And once you have competence in something, then confidence will come along with that. And then I hear the same lessons that he told me when I was younger to the guys that I'm training right now. And it's just crazy how everything comes in full circle. He's by far the best coach that I've ever had experience with. And he hasn't had any formal training in anything. He knows how to communicate what he wants out of people, and he brings it out of them.
No, you don't need to know the sport.
Yeah.
If you can cultivate the cult of personality
Yeah.
and get each other to believe in each other, you're just gonna have success just because you're gonna go play hard and have fun and believe you can do it.
Yeah.
I think, my dad coached me and my brother in baseball and soccer growing up.
Yeah.
My dad knows nothing about baseball or soccer when he started coaching
But I'm
us.
sure he made you believe that you could do it.
We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then because I'm all over the place, I'm
Yeah.
like ADD. Like, I was back, like, it was a couple weekends ago I was just watching you train, just because sometimes it's good to watch other people coach. And
That's what you're doing.
and one thing I noticed you said to your athletes is the music's loud, they're coaching each other, you're coaching them. And to kind of put this in perspective, it was majority of them are football players.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's their primary sport, but they
Yeah.
all play football.
Yeah.
You said, is it signal or is it noise? I know what you meant.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that? Because I think that's really important, especially for, eventually everyone wants to play in front of 100,000 screaming people. What do you mean by that?
That there's so much stimulus that goes on, whether you're playing a sport, whether you're training, or just in life. There's so much stuff that's going to try to distract you from what your goal is. And then as soon as you distinguish what is noise that's going to distract you from your goal, if you learn how to tune that out and learn how to focus on things that are going to get you towards your goal, those are the signals. So I'll take training in here for example. It's loud in there. There's weights going around, clanking around. There's loud music, there's guys, queuing each other up. There's so much stimulus going around where if they know how to differentiate all the noise, the things that aren't going to help them with things that will help them, then that's going to take them way further in life than just doing really good stuff in here or doing stuff out on the field. And same thing in life in general. If you learn how to tune out all the noise and recognize the signals when it's out in front of you, then it'll be alright.
I knew that, but to actually see someone take that concept and apply it, I was like, whoa.
So what's cool with that, say we're doing, if I have a lot of guys and we're really talking about signals and noise, I'd have half of my guys just yell nonsense to the person who's on the bench or something, and then have the other half, giving them really good cues. And their job is to be able to focus on listening to the cues versus listening to all the noise. And it's just crazy, they even tell me they don't hear the stuff that's all the nonsense that's going on.
Yeah.
If they could train themselves how to do that.
That's huge. That's I still I struggle with that. I know how when I get in my element and it's time to lift, time to work out, or if I'm playing golf or whatever, I can do that. But in my day-to-day life, and I need to hey, I need to go do this, and then it's ooh.
Yeah, squirrel.
What did JL write today? Or what's on Nate Harvey's blog? Or what is on T Nation today? I'm trying to just do all of this and try and expand my mind when I really just need to figure out what I'm going to be really good at and what I need to focus my energy on to be my kind of mind. Because that's what you've done. You went from, hey, come hang out, because the people that are buying open gym memberships here are the people that are going to go come and train 3-4 days a week. They're not the type that are going to pay for a gym membership every month and not show up and not use the equipment like other places' business models. So you went from that, you went through the fishing net, and now you're putting the specific bait on the hook and trying to cast and catch that specific fish. And I need to figure out that in my life. And this is part of it. I think this is what I want to do. I want to teach. I think that's what I really want to do, is go be a master's level lecturer, and then I want to go talk to who are the future difference makers, because not trying to rip on everybody, but Louie and Dave and all these guys that we look up to, that we get our information from. They're not going to be around forever. I hope.
But that's our job.
Right.
To carry on
It's
everything they taught us and continue pushing it out to the next generation.
Right. Live, learn, pass on.
Definitely.
Like you guys, and then there's a couple other people that I want to talk to. So I hope they watch. So Smitley, when you get your gym open, I'm going to come talk to you. Showman, if we got time next week. Although by the time the second part of this airs, I'll probably already have been out there. But I'm trying to think people around our age that are going to, Elite's been around 20 years. That who 20 years from now is going to be the influencers, and try and be around them and let you guys get your message out. Because the right person sees this, maybe someone,
it just takes one.
Like someone from California, or maybe someone's like, man, I need to come out here. I need to go train with that guy for 6 months. And now you're doing somebody's pro day.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Just think about how Louis Simmons. Let's just take him for example. How he influenced Dave Tate, and then how Dave Tate, the reason he is, or how his influence influenced me to come over here to start a training facility.
And that semi-truck
Yeah.
and that Facebook post influenced you to come over here and help us unload it.
Right, and now
you have a future wife, and it's just crazy how
The ripple effect.
it helps.
Right.
Influences so many different
Like
lives.
from one person's decision to get focused on their own goals, and what that did to.
Outside of the numerous pictures on the wall of people you've trained, that powerlifting, high school football, college softball, same thing over there. Outside of the people that have achieved because they came and trained with you as athletes, you have Andrew, who went and got his personal training certification and started a new job and a new career this week.
Yeah.
You have me, who's still trying to find his voice and trying to find my direction now that I'm not convinced that I want to try and do the grind of professional or collegiate athletics anymore. Jesse, who's going to school, and he's going to probably, his plan's physical therapy school.
Yeah, we just saw him the other day.
Yeah, so he showed up in the Snap story at Starbucks.
There's
Roy, you pushed Roy out the door with his media stuff.
Yeah.
Who's the big one? You got Dave and Kyle that were in here just to talk and hang out. And they were, Kyle's running the show at Charter down the road, and then he just got a new job at Stack. Dave's at the hockey place in Orland. Like, just that circle of influence outside of training that you've grown. Which, that's what Dave did. Like, if you look at anyone that worked at Elite for a brief period of time, they're now off. Jim wrote 531, and now Jim no longer is at Elite. I don't know who else. Smelly, Mark Bell worked for Elite for about 5 minutes, and now he's got his own place. He's got super training. Just that, Dave did that. Now it's our turn to do that.
And it's so much cooler to, have success with your friends, the people that you care about. Because I was just gonna say that I wasn't raised to be selfish. I was raised to be able to help those around me, and when we win, we all win, and that's what I want to accomplish. And it's crazy how I just by being around you, if anybody knows about this guy, his mind is it's so damn smart. And I hardly talk when you're around because I like to just listen to you.
Yeah.
And the value that you bring is it's amazing.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I talk too much. I get running on something, and I was in a job interview once, and I'm going at 1,000,000 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And I talk, I'm like, am I going too fast? Do I need to slow down here 3 or 4 times? They're like, no, keep going, we love this. And I finished talking, and I had this 10-page portfolio, and I didn't read it verbatim, but I told them what's in there, and if they wanted to read it, they could.
Yeah.
And one guy, when I was done with that part, they're like, now I want to go read more research and start using what I have as my own personal laboratory. And I'm like, I didn't get that job, but the Cubs did win the World Series.
But you had impact on that person.
I hope so.
Who knows where that's at today.
Yeah. So that's huge.
And so something else I'll mention on this topic of, the impact outside of actually training athletes and letting them, have success on the field or on the court. There's a quote, and I can't remember the author, but there is an author for it, so I don't want to, try to claim it, but it's about a CEO and a CFO. So the CFO says to the CEO, what if we instill all of our energy and pour all of our value and train up our employees and they leave us, right? So you're gonna invest all this time and energy into them, but then what if they leave? The CFO asks the CEO that, and the CEO says, well, what if we don't and they stay? That's scary, right? To a business person, right? So when I think of that, even though us two are the only two here working, right, at HBF in the current day, when I think about what you were talking about with our impact being beyond, athletes in training, I think about our people, they're talking about their employees, hired employees, but I think about our people as it's our network, I want to make sure that they're all reaching their goals. It doesn't matter if it's benefiting us. I want to make sure they're reaching their goals so that the impact can keep going and keep rippling out. Because if we don't pour into them and we aren't helping them reach their goals, so then what are we doing for them? Right? If you're not impacting someone else's life and making them better, what is life?
Yeah. I think I'm out of questions. This was excellent talk.
Drop the mic.
Drop the mic. I'm going to ask Mike to do one thing for me, though. I want you to use this lovely whiteboard that's been sitting here, and in one sentence, I want you to sum up the culture of this place in one sentence, other than more than just the gym. in a sentence as best you can.
Or
Try
a
and-
word. Maybe a
Or word, sentence, a word, however you want to do it. Just I don't want to have to read a paragraph. I think I know what I would write if I was you, but I'm not you, so I can't put words in your mouth. Because I would say it's to be a positive influence to the community and to everyone that steps through these doors, is what I would say.
You can read my handwriting.
I'll hold this for you because we didn't. Oh, I see.
Oh.
So it is just more than just a gym. It really is. And hashtag family. So, because everybody has to do this, where can we find you guys on social media? Because I know where to. So we'll start with Mike, because you got your own thing going.
Yes, you can find us on Facebook at teamhpf.com. Before that's Facebook, obviously. You can find us on Instagram, teamhpf. Check out our website, teamhpf. I have my own personal Instagram where you can see all the stuff that we do on a daily basis. Just look up Michael V. Morellis or Mike V. Morellis on Instagram, and
yeah, everything can be searched with just Team HPF. For myself personally, it's Gina Inspires on everything.
Right. And then are you just trainer Mike public or is that a private one? Your Snapchat one is trainer Mike.
Oh, that
Oh.
one's Successful Mike.
yeah, Successful Mike.
Okay.
Snapchat.
Yeah, that's our Snapchat.
For him.
Successful Mike and Gina Inspires.
On everything.
On everything. I watched one video from her and it's like, alright, I gotta pull the trigger on something. So that's all for today. It was great sitting down with Mike and Gina from High Performance Fitness. I'd say if you're in the area, check it out, but they don't run that way anymore, unfortunately.
Give us a call.
They're cool to talk to. They're more than willing to talk to you and give you some ideas and some inspiration. And as always, Dave out. Keep grinding.
Yeah.